Thanks for joining us today on Scripps News Live. I'm Lisa Ram. Using generic drugs is a major option for keeping healthcare costs down. When the patients on branded drugs expire, generic manufacturers can jump in and replicate the medicines. But the Wall Street Journal reports certain generic drugs for cancer, multiple sclerosis, and other diseases are still costing thousands of dollars per month. Health researchers and industry officials say the companies that are supposed to be keeping prices down are maximizing profits by marketing them up. The report compared prices for 20 generic drugs, and there are major differences. Cigna's prices were more than 27 times higher than Mark Cuban's Cost Plus drug company. CVS was about 24 times higher, and United Health was 3.5 times higher. Eric Calciano is the lead benefits advisor for New City Insurance. Generic drugs, as welcome, first of all. I'm going to jump right in here because this affects so many, right? Generic drugs are supposed to be less expensive, but what's happening here? Why is the cost rising?
Well, what we're seeing is that the pharmacy benefit managers inside of health plans are consolidating with the insurance companies. And so the insurance companies and the pharmacy benefit managers now have common ownership. We also see that the pharmacy benefit managers own many of the pharmacies themselves. And so at the end of the day, they're all profiting from these costs going up, all to the detriment of the members and the families that are on their health plans.
Now, what are pharmacy benefit managers and what role do they play in all of this?
Yeah, so their role ostensibly is to keep drug prices low and to negotiate drug prices. But as they have become more and more powerful, as drug spending becomes more and more important in every health plan, they have not been functioning in that way. So they now are the largest pharmacy benefit managers in the country. They now have common ownership with the largest health insurance carriers in the country. So CVS Caremark owns Aetna, Express Scripps, another pharmacy benefit manager, has common ownership with Cigna, and United Healthcare has common ownership with the pharmacy benefit manager Optum. And so now their job was to negotiate down drug prices, but now we're seeing more that they are working to the benefit of the insurance company. They pass these rebates that they get from the drug manufacturers along to the insurance companies. The insurance companies are able to then profit off these higher cost drugs. And ultimately, they pass along the cost to the consumer in terms of increased premiums on health plans every year. And that's one of the reasons why we see these large increases in health insurance premiums across all types of insurance, whether that's the individual marketplace or the group marketplace every single year.
Yeah, so you just made mention of that consolidation with CVS and Cigna. And the consumer, of course, is caught in the middle. What can the consumer do at this point?
Well, a lot of the power to make a change in this comes more at the level of the employer themselves. So 54% of Americans are covered through their employer, and about 18% on Medicare and 18% on Medicaid. So the largest by far pool of covered individuals is through their employer. Their employers have the ability to really customize plans and to say, hey, we're not going to work with these pharmacy benefit managers that are not going to treat our plans well. And they're not going to price drugs well for the members on our plans. But for the members themselves, they do have things that they can do. If they are facing high copays, let's say they're on a high deductible health plan and they're eating the cost of the majority of that drug that they're taking, they can use online tools like GoodRx and other price comparison tools where they can find a pharmacy that provides the same drug at a significantly lower cost. Because we're seeing Gleevec, for example, that was covered in that Wall Street Journal article, that when you go through CVS or Cigna, they can be charging as much as $6,600 per month, whereas through other avenues, they can get charged as little as $55 per month, so less than 100 times. So taking advantage of the information that's out there, those tools that help individuals become good healthcare consumers, adding more transparencies to the system is always good.
Yeah, with all this going on, you think about all the people who may be going without critical medication because of the price. Why aren't lawmakers stepping in and doing something?
Yeah, it's a good question. And the good news is that they're starting to. So we're actually seeing movement there in two places right now. One is the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, is currently investigating some of the country's largest pharmacy benefit managers. They've named 6 of them, and they've got an inquiry, and they are essentially, their statement is that these pharmacy benefit managers most Americans don't know that pharmacy benefit managers even exist, and yet they are having this huge effect on what we all spend on healthcare. So we could see some intervention there through the FTC. There's also an oversight committee in the House that has also demanded the drug pricing from the big 3 pharmacy benefit managers, so Express Scripts, CVS Caremark, and Optum. So the hope is that we do see some intervention at some point, because this is something that both parties can get behind.
Yeah, the reality, though, we may not see these prices go down anytime soon, would you say?
I would say that that's the case. As we know, when it comes to intervention, government intervention, that can be a slow moving ship. So it can take a while for the solutions to come into place, but it is nice to see that there is movement there.
Eric, thank you so much for your perspective. Eric Calciano of New City Insurance, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.